Happy Easter Sunday, folks. I thought I would come up to my allotment today after waking up this morning and going to the farm shop and having a chat with one of my new friends who I was saying to her if she knows anywhere where I can get a load of compost, because I planted these new metal veg beds to try and create a bit of organisation at my allotment, but because they're 30 centimetres deep, I need to fill them up with compost. And if I get compost delivered, which I may have to do, it's going to be quite expensive. And anyway, she was like, "Oh, I've got some well rotted straw that you can have," and gave me 6 bags, which is brilliant. So that's going to be a lot of nutrition in the soil, which I'm quite pleased about, but I've got to mix it in with some compost. So that's one of the things that I've learned with having this allotment for, I think it's my 10th year now. You need so much more compost than you think you do. And if you don't have a decent compost bin, and it's not even a bin, it needs to be like a mountain really, you just end up spending so much money. So I'm really pleased. I'm probably going to find someone who's got a load of horses where I can just rock up and get some well rotted horse manure, and then I can fill up my vegetable beds. I've actually just ordered 3 more vegetable beds this morning, 2 to go in the fruit cage, and I'm going to put an archway up so that I've got, it's either a tay berry or a raspberry, and I'm going to trail it across a flower arch. And I've also got a kiwi berry, which has never flowered or done anything, but that's going a bit crazy, so I'm going to grow that up the archway. So I'm just thinking today I could spend 6 hours up here and it wouldn't really make any difference, but there's not much that I can really do, because although it seems like the weather's lovely, the soil is still a little bit too cold to start planting stuff up. So I'm going to be doing a lot of boring jobs, but I know my future self will thank me for it. So I've already tidied up the greenhouse. The greenhouse is pretty much good to go. These are some broad beans that I planted up at home, which was ridiculous timing because now they are absolutely huge. So I'm just leaving them in here. But what I did find interesting was these sunflowers. These sunflowers I planted at home exactly the same time as I planted these sunflowers. And I left these ones up at the, obviously here in the greenhouse, to make a little bit of space. And look at the size of them in comparison. So I've just taken these plants, which are asters, straw flowers, sunflowers and dahlias, out of my greenhouse at home, and I'm just going to leave them up here because they're clearly happy in the greenhouse, and they can go in the ground in a couple of weeks. So all a load of mess here, but the garlic, that's garlic there. I planted that last winter, around October time I planted that, I think. And then I've got some onions and also some sweet peas, which I'm hoping are going to grow up that arch. Polytunnel, I'm just going to leave the polytunnel now. I'm not quite ready for the polytunnel. Oh, this is my well rotted straw that my farmer friend gave me. So she said mix it in with a load of compost, and then that's going to buffer that out, because this bed here is absolutely massive and that's going to take a lot. This is the area here, my fruit cage, where I've ordered 2 new vegetable beds. As you can see, this is just an absolute mess. This is quite a hard area to contain, but there's some lovely fruit in here, and this raspberry is growing up through the fruit cage, which is not a problem, but I don't want it there. So what I'm going to do is lift this up a little bit, dig it out, lift it up, because this gets flooded in the winter, and I'm going to put this in a veg bed, along with this here, which is my kiwi berry, which has never flowered. So quite a lot of work to do here. Down here I think these are gooseberries, which I might have to dig up and move, but that's not as bad as it looks. This is just, if I don't get on top of this now, this is going to be a couple of feet high. I'm really, really pleased. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to relocate this gooseberry bush, and I was quite brutal with it. I just literally pulled it up out of the ground, and it looks like, considering how brutal I was with it, it seems to have recovered really nicely. So if I get this right, this has got the potential to give me loads of fruit: raspberries, gooseberries, kiwi berries if they ever grow. There's an amazing blackberry over there. And then in the fruit cage, I've got my golden raspberries, my autumn raspberries, my summer raspberries, and a lovely amount of strawberries. This here is another kiwi berry, growing a bit akimbo, but maybe one year this will flower. There's also a cranberry in here as well. I think I've got cranberry and a goji berry. Yep. That's the goji berry. And who knows if I'll ever get a goji berry, but you never know. And this teeny tiny little plant here, this is my cranberry. That is another kiwi berry, but I think that has died. But this one is doing pretty good, so I can't really complain. The pond, which I covered over because that had a massive hole in it, loads of, I think that's iris coming up. I hope they do come up, but this is going to be all sunflowers. So lots and lots and lots of work to do. So I better stop talking and crack on, because yeah, it's just non-stop. Everywhere I look, there's a job. Awesome. So I've just been hoeing my vegetable bed and I found this greeny coloured egg. This looks like one of the eggs from my chickens. My Aracanas, they lay green eggs, but my hoe just went straight into it. But it looks like a chicken's egg. What on earth would a chicken be doing up here? Another boring job that I don't really want to do, but I'll be happy when I do it. I need to cover my fruit cage because, as you can see, there's no wire in here. And what I want to do is, when I come up to my allotment for a couple of hours or so, I want to be able to bring my chickens up here and ideally let them run around, but I'm going to have to clip their wings in order to do that. But I'd like them just to kind of go in there and just scratch about and eat loads of grass and have some fun. So I'm going to cover that, see how that goes, and potentially, if I don't use it for my chickens, it's obviously a fruit cage, and I will put my blueberry plants that I've got in my garden at home to obviously keep the birds away from the blueberries. So this area here, this summer, if I could get this area like tidied up and organised, I'll be really happy, because this has been a bit of an area here that I've just kind of just left to its own devices, but I think it needs a bit of TLC, and 2026 is the year